Namaskaram. With Divine's grace and Guru's grace, I'm back with one more recording on Vallalar and some more incidents in his life. Even when Vallalar was about to take birth, one incident took place in his parents' house. Vallalar's mother was alone in the house, and one day, one monk or sadhu in Sanskrit, he visited Vallalar's house. Vallalar was not yet born. Vallalar's mother's house, he came. One sadhu came. He was a devotee of Lord Shiva, and Vallalar's mother gave him food. She gave him bhiksha. And just before going, he disappeared in the form of Jyoti. And he told Vallalar's mother that she is going to deliver very soon a child who is going to do lot of spiritual work in that particular place. That was the statement which was given, and it happened later on. The mother was shocked to hear that, to see that also, because the person who came, he was in human form, but when he disappeared, he was in the form of a Jyoti. And she felt very bad that she could not ask some serious spiritual issue with him. She just missed the chance. She felt God Himself came to my house, but I did not ask for liberation. I just missed the opportunity. Like that, she was feeling very miserable. And her husband came, and she narrated the whole incident to her husband. Her husband felt more miserable because he was not even there to be with her when this happened. So, as he predicted, as the monk or sadhu predicted, Vallalar took birth in their house. That was one incident. Second incident which I am going to narrate is about when he was not showing interest in the studies. In my earlier recordings, I had talked about his early childhood. He was not interested in studies, and he would go and sit in a room and he would meditate. One day, his brother had to go to some place to give some discourse. That was the only survival for their family, because Ramalinga Adigal or Vallalar, he had lost his father when he was very young. So his brother was supporting the family, giving discourses. One day he fell sick, and he sent Vallalar to that particular place where he had to give discourse. Vallalar went there, and the organizers didn't expect this. They were expecting his elder brother, and they asked him why you have come in his place. He said, whatever little I know, I will tell. They said, if we had known that you are not coming, your brother is not coming, we would have made some other arrangement, they felt. But then when Vallalar started giving the discourse, week after week, lot of people started gathering. The organizers almost told the brother, his elder brother, from next week he should not come. Only Vallalar should come. So that was the kind of uh, force he had when he started talking about various literature. He started collecting also a lot of money. As he was collecting the money, he threw it on the road. He threw it in water. He had no value for money at all. The organizers once again came to the brother's house. They said, let your brother, that is Vallalar, come and give the discourse, but you come and take the money and go. That was the arrangement. So, right when he was very small, from the childhood itself, he was not interested in money. That was another very interesting aspect which I wanted to narrate. Then coming to his works, he had made a text called Thiruvarutpa, and it has happened recently. The incident which I am going to narrate, it happened recently. Actually, in my earlier recordings, I had put 4-5 recordings as to how one sentence changed the life of saints Tulasidas, Valmiki, Arunagirinathar, Patinathar, like that. Those people we have not seen. They all lived in different centuries. But this particular incident, which I am going to narrate now, it happened recently. Somebody read Thiruvarutpa. That person who read Thiruvarutpa, he was a non-vegetarian eater. By food habits, he was a non-vegetarian. One visitor came to his house one day, and that visitor told this person, "You bring the book which is there in your shelf." It was Thiruvarutpa, written by Ramalinga Adigalar or Vallalar. He opened the text, and the visitor told him to read one particular verse. This person read that verse. That person himself has narrated this. After he read that, from next day onwards, he stopped eating meat. And the kind of food he was eating before reading this Thiruvarutpa, he even narrated. I don't want to say his name or what he ate also, but for our context, it is enough to understand that works like Thiruvarutpa, because they came from people like Vallalar, they have that power to change a person. That is the power of some of these, I should say, mantras or verses which have come from persons like Vallalar. Actually, it is even believed that Vallalar was an avatar. Many births take place in our country when certain transformations have to take place in the when they have to take place in the society. So Vallalar had come mainly to spread a few very important values. He entire life he taught humanity about service to living things. He not only talked about human beings, he even said that plants and then animals also have to be treated well, and there should not be any violence on them. He looked at every human being as same. He worked for casteless society, and it created lot of stir in the society, and there were lot of opposition also. So many books came out from people to condemn this particular concept. He promoted casteless society, but many people were against him. And one more very interesting incident happened when Vallalar was walking in a place called Tiruvattriyur. Tiruvattriyur is a place near Madras. I had already talked about that place, and Vallalar was always singing songs in praise of the deity there. That is the Shiva who is there in Tiruvattriyur. As he was walking in the road, there was one monk. He was almost in no clothes, I can say he was nirvan, and he was commenting on every human being who was walking in the road. When he looks at one person, he will not say by his name, he will say, donkey is going. When he sees somebody else, he will say, something else is going, comparing that person to that mentality of the animal. Like that, he was passing judgment on every human being. He never called any human being with their name or with the human body. But when Vallalar was walking in that road, this person immediately started wearing his dress, because for the first time he got ashamed that he was in this shape, because for him the other people who went on the road, for him they were animals, so he didn't bother. But when Vallalar came, he said he was more than a human being. He recognized his inner worth, and he started wearing proper clothes, because for the first time he was meeting a human being. It was a very interesting, funny episode how sadhus realize another sadhu's words. So throughout his life, Ramalinga Adigalar or Vallalar repeatedly told people to have compassion, and he worked for, as I told, bringing a casteless society. That is, there are only two forms. That is, one is a male and another is female. There is no gender, there is no gender issue, there is no caste issue, there is no religion issue, there is nothing else which should separate people. All are one. So there are only two divisions, that is one male and one female. Otherwise, there should not be any divisions in humanity. That was the principle he was spreading everywhere. And he said, service to living beings is the path of liberation. And he said, God is Arut Perum Jyoti, that is divine light of grace. And the path of compassion alone, the mercy alone, is the path to God. That was what he was holding very sacred to him, and he spread to humanity also. And he was insisting that feeding the hungry all the time is what is required. And he also made an arrangement in a place near in South India. It's called Vaddalur. There continuously food is being given to so many people, and to this day it is happening. And with this, I am ending the recording. I hope you could get some more points from this recording, and I am once again thanking everyone who is spending little time in listening to this. Thank you.